Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing? Hi, Beetle. Hello, Warrior Girl. Hello, Nick. How are you guys? Cheese to see you. I see what you're doing with that, but I think isn't cheese another word for like annoyed? Or is that just something that my friends and I made up? Because I feel like whenever my friends, or at least one specific friend, whenever we have like a bad day, it's like, I'm so cheesed today, you know? On context, fair enough. More puzzle and cheesing, heck yeah. So I got the full game. I am a little annoyed because when I opened it, it gave me like a cutscene, and then usually I immediately closed it because I didn't want to see a cutscene. But then now I can't find the cutscene, so I just know that the cutscene started off with like, "Are you ready to own a home?" or something. Hi, Sire. Hi. For bunnies, it would be more negative than it is for rats. Fair enough. Yes, I guess it does depend on which you are. But I guess because I am a rabbit, saying cheese means annoyed to me and my friend. Alright, let's just hop in. So this is what the full game menu looks like. We get stickers, apparently. That's first. That's the first I've seen of it. But now I am Kiratko, you are right. Look at this, my membership card! Kiratko! Personality, playful critter. Oh, I got one sticker? What sticker? I don't see a sticker. Huh. Oh well. Anyways, we'll hop in. I'm assuming I click this one. Free content update! Yay! Okay, play. Look at all these pages! Okay, let's hop into a lava lamp. I never owned a lava lamp and I never really understood the draw of having a lava lamp growing up. They're like really cool, I guess, to watch it swirl. But I guess lava lamps weren't really my thing. It's good vibes. I guess I was trapped by the weird fear-mongeringness of adults going like, it's just chemicals. If something were to happen, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Which is why I never had the draw of it. Alright, so it's gotta be this one. These ones can go. But the lamp? Okay, did you guys own a lava lamp? Like, did you guys own one? Do you guys own one now? Not that you recall. One. 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. Cross that one out. Your sister did. They were such a 90s item, weren't they? I feel like anytime someone talks about a lava lamp, it's always whenever they're reminiscing about the 90s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One, two, three, four. It was novel for a little while, then it was shelf decor. I understand the draw of a lava lamp, right? They are really cool to look at. But you know what I preferred? I preferred those, it's like the same idea, but it's just like, I guess it has even less of a function than a lava lamp. It's those little pieces of like shelf decor where it looks like they're little ladders, and you would have to turn it upside down and you would watch the little bubbles roll down the ladder. Ooh, hourglasses. Yes, hourglasses were really cool. Those little like staircase thingies was one of like the more to us it was like the family approved version of the lava lamp. Four. Here comes my lava lamp. Yay! Oh, lava lamps were always like either a green. I feel like lava lamps are always green or blue. Have I ever seen a purple one? I feel like I've seen a purple lava lamp before. I'm sure there's probably some science as to why I've only ever seen those colors. Hello. Cross out. And then 2, 4, 2, 4. There we go. Oh, that's really nice. You know what? I needed a partition for the home. Remember my house right now? My home Squeak Home is very open floor plan. So a wall is quite nice to have. Now we're squeaking. Oops. Also, I know I know you guys mentioned that where I am, my weather is considered cold for you guys. But man, it was really hot for me today. It was so hot. It was like 21 degrees Celsius and I was like, oh, it's so hot. Like as I am right now. Hi, Devin. Isn't that just like a spring day? That is not a spring day. This is considered like warm for us. I felt so betrayed because as I was about to head outside, I asked my friend, I was like, do you think I should, you know, take out my windbreaker? Because I had a windbreaker. And I was wearing like a cardigan. And my friend checked the weather and was like, you know what? It's 21 degrees. It's gonna be cloudy. I guess you could wear your windbreaker. So I put on my windbreaker and then I walked outside and the sun was beaming. I was sweating and I was like, you liar. As a South Texan, your hottest day is probably your coldest doom. Probably. But you know what? My coldest day, I don't think you guys want to. "25 degrees here right now, 28 in the house is too warm." That is really warm! That is so warm. I have my fan on next to me. Now, anytime I stream, I have to have, like, the fan on. It's been 95... 95... 95? Is that 35? Yes, I think that's right. Because 70... 72... Wait, what am I doing? I can just Google this. 95 to C. Yeah, 35 degrees Celsius. Ew! Ew, that's disgusting. That weather's gross. Biological adaptation is so weird. Been pretty sweltering. That is... if I'm sweating at like 21 Celsius, I don't want to know what I would be like in the 30s. One, two, three. Ew, who does a square of 6? That's... ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Honestly, I hate nonogram puzzles that are all quirky and they decide to do a grid of 6 by 5. Like, why 6 by 5? Why can't it be like 5 by 5 or 10 by 10? The math is roughly multiplied by 1.8. Bold of you to assume that I can just multiply by 1.8 whenever I need to figure out my my Celsiuses and my Fahrenheit. The record low in Michigan this year was back in January. Negative 35.6? That's crazy. But the temperatures are just gonna keep getting colder and colder, right? And hotter and hotter. It happens that you just multiply by 2. Okay, you know what? That's so fair. That's very clever. Hi, Indictation! considering the plus 30 plus Celsius is we have. Yeah, I don't know. I think a nice day for me would be around, I guess, around the 20s, 18, 20s, I think would be kind of nice. But for some reason, today was just really hot. Maybe, yeah, maybe the 18s. I'd rather have a cooler day than a hotter day. The heat has lessened, but from the way I checked the weather, I think I checked it this morning and it said that it was gonna get hotter, which makes sense because, you know, summer's just gonna keep ramping up. So we haven't felt the worst of summer yet, unfortunately. Like, the winters are gonna get warmer because snow's gonna... It's gonna take longer for... Well, depending on where you are, I guess. Like, I feel like for the last couple of years, it took a bit longer for snow. Unless I'm, like, remembering my childhood. Snow kept coming later. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember what that photograph said, but back when we still developed photos, when we still had to go to a photo lab and get our photos developed, my mom had a picture of me playing on the road in full winter gear, surrounded by snow. I think in like the November? Was it November-ish? But I think last November we didn't have any snow. Oh, snow! Ooh, here's an interesting question. So, you know those summer treats? It comes in a tube, you put them in the freezer. It's basically juice in a tube, and then you put it in the freezer. And then once it's frozen, you just kind of like cut off the top, and then you suck on the top. What do you call those? Because I think there's like a lot of discourse about what different people around the world call them. See, you're saying it's push pop, but here I call them freezies. You don't think you call them anything specific? Wait, so you never just refer to them? What would you refer to them as then? Like if you were talking to a friend about it. Because I think like some people also refer to it by brand. Like I think I saw that there was the brand like Otter Pops or something. Ice Pops. My favorite flavor was cream soda. My favorite flavor was cream soda. And I remember going to like a corner shop and they would be selling it for like 50 cents. 50 cents for one tube. That was like summer highlights type of thing. Ice pops, so you have to specify those juice ones. Juice ones? Are there any other ones other than... I mean, either way, they were unhealthy as heck, but they were good. They were yummy. Me and my sweet tooth. I've called them freeze pops. You've heard others call them freezies. Yes, freezies is what we called them. Or at least what the people around me called them, so I called them that. I think it's because, is it because that was the brand? I can't remember. Super Dupers? What? UK, what the heck? Why are you calling them Super Dupers? What the heck is a Super Duper? When you say ice pops here, you think most people... Oh, makes sense. Doesn't the UK also call popsicles like ice lollies? Would you like an ice lolly? Yeah, ice lollies. Ooh, I really liked creamsicle popsicles. Give me a good orange creamsicle. Yum. A creamsicle or like just a standard ice cream sandwich. I don't need like a fancy ice cream sandwich, but a good ice cream sandwich would just be like, you know, a boring dollar one that we would get from the corner store. That was good. You still dream of the Bluebell? Bluebell ice cream? Bluebell. Hold up. Oh! It's a brand. For some reason, I was when you say Bluebell, I was expecting the sandwiches to, or like the packaging to at least be blue, but it's not. Yes, the individually wrapped ones. I liked, for us, it's Chapman's. I think for us, the standard ice cream, the most standard ice cream sandwich you could get is like Chapman's. Hello there, old chap. I see. I think back when I was in high school, they did those in marketing class. Yes, the same marketing class that I was a tryhard in, apparently. I think there was like a mini like contest of sorts where like students would come up with like something to sell, and then they would quote unquote sell it. So a lot of kids did freezies and a lot of kids did ice cream sandwiches because they were already individually packed. All they had to do was just like, you know, pull one out and just hand it to the buyer. So ice cream sandwiches were really popular. And honestly, that was probably really smart of them. I never really had to do that kind of project where I had to sell something. But I think it was the kids who sold freezies and the kids who sold like individually wrapped ice creams that made the most money. It goes to show that everyone just wants the classics around here. You saw them once in Walmart and you bought the whole row. Hey, if you know that it's there and you know you love it, you might as well. And they say happiness can't be bought. This is 8. There we go. They tried that stuff all the time in school. Looking back, it's so sketchy. Here, kids, go door to door and scam people. Luckily, like I said, I never actually had to do it. But I don't think the kids who did have to do it, I don't think they had to go door to door. I think all they did was they just brought their stuff to school and then they would just sell it in like the school gymnasium, like a little internal fair type of thing. Some kids are really creative, like, holy. Some kids had that entrepreneur sense. Happiness may not be able to be bought, but it's a lot easier to get it without worrying about. Yes, yes, yes. What was that quote? It's like it's like I may have money and I'll still be crying, but I'd rather be crying in like, what was it? I'd rather be crying in my mansion than be crying like on the streets or something. Oh, the cone of shame! Ours, you never saw the stuff you were selling. It was like an order catalog. Like the girl. Oh, I think my brother had to do that assignment. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, like here. Okay. They talked you into doing it once. No one who ordered anything actually received it. Oh, that's why you called it a scam. Buy an ice cream sandwich at Costco for $5 a pack of 10. You break up the pack, sell them each. That's business, baby. Okay. My brother had to do the whole entrepreneur thing before, and I was actually really annoyed with it. Okay, let me just tell you guys, right? I never had to do it growing up, and neither did my other siblings. So when my brother's class gave us a pamphlet saying like, hey, so this is what we're doing, we were like, oh, that's interesting. And then we were reading through the pamphlet, and the part that really annoyed me was the part where it was like, parents, this is what you do. And I was like, okay. And it looked like it was just going to be the parents basically doing the whole thing. I was like, excuse me, what would they be doing in school then? Because this one was different, right? In the past, whenever I saw students doing it, like my classmates doing it or whatever, they got to basically sell whatever they wanted. Like I said, they could do freezies, they could do ice cream sandwiches, they could do like stuff that they've already bought. Like they can make their own cookies and sell like little bags of cookies. But when my brother did it, he was sent home with like a bunch of rules about things that he was allowed to do and wasn't allowed to do. And the stuff that he wasn't allowed to do was food, which, thinking about it, like, yeah, like allergens, right? You don't want like some kid keeling over because they accidentally bought some like peanut cookies and they were allergic. Which meant that like all the kids had to basically make something. I think my brother made bookmarks. He handmade bookmarks. But then apparently there were other students whose parents owned like a 3D printer. So I think like those kids were selling 3D printed items. And because it was like a whole business thing, right? The kids got to keep the money that they say that they made, but they had to pay tax to the school. So they had to pay like, I don't remember if it was like a 10% or 25% to the school of everything they made. And I was like, really? Really? True. Oh, that's true business right there. That's like landlord rent type-ish. That's so realistic, right? Because basically the way it was run, right, was that it was because it was an internal, because it was like an internal event. Nothing was bought with money at first. So if kids wanted to take part in the fair, it's like if I wanted to go buy something, I would have to go up to my teacher and hand her like a $10 bill and exchange it for like 10 tickets, quote unquote tickets. And I would use those tickets to buy stuff in the fair. So if someone's bookmark was like worth like $2, I would have to give them like 2 tickets. And then the person who was selling those bookmarks, now they have a pile of tickets and they would bring it to their teacher to exchange it for money. So unless they don't want that money, there's no way of really scamming them and keeping all the money that was made. Not, of course, that I'm endorsing scamming. It's so real. Yeah, it was pretty realistic. It was like, you know, even when you own a business, you still have to pay rent to the place where you're renting your business location from, so But you know what? My brother had a great time. He had a great time. He was really excited to tell me about how much money he made. You know, it made me wonder, right? Like, were there any kids who didn't make any money? And if so, how were teachers able to spin that in a positive way so that people didn't feel bad? This is why I can't be a teacher. I don't think I could ever be a teacher. by saying they were determined, or a participation trophy, not the participation trophy. Honestly, the participation trophy make anyone feel better ever. Everything you know about my brother, he is very excited about, like, he's excited about stuff that he's passionate about. And one of the things he is passionate about is making money. So there's that. Not gonna lie, I did kind of lose a little bit of sleep thinking about it. I was like, oh no, what if no one buys this? I was like, no, what if no one buys this thing? I'm gonna feel so bad. And then I was talking to my sisters, and so I said it was an internal thing. So it was like students and teachers, but the students could also invite their family. And we were like, what? Do we go to the school and like buy one of his book bags? Luckily, we didn't have to do that. He came home very happy with his work, so. You can be like, hey, this is what happened to 90% of people when they sell things. That is true. That is true. Nobody actually goes out and like makes like a truckload of money. We wish, but that's not how it works. This seems like such a strange thing to grade people on. To be honest, I don't even know if they were being graded. Like how do you grade something like that? Oh, if you make above like the 10%, you get a B. If you make the 1%, then you get an A. No, I was like cutting board, you have no idea. It's I just look at the numbers and I try to figure out which numbers are the ones I fill in and which ones I don't. And then it's supposed to make an image. No one said that it had to look like an actual good image, right? Haha. But yeah, I think the earlier puzzles, you could actually see what things were better than now. I feel like when I was trying to help my brother brainstorm what to make, some of the kids were actually really creative with it. Like, I didn't know that slime was still, you know, popular, but apparently some kids were doing like DIY slime kits. So people would put like, oh, you know, the borax in like one compartment, and then they would put something else in another compartment, and then students can just buy the set and mix it. That one was really smart. But oh my god, the amount of AI usage. My sister was picking my brother up from school one day, and she saw some posters because they had to advertise their stuff too. They weren't just like making it and putting it on a table. They had to advertise it, so they had to make their own posters and everything. So my sister went to go pick my brother up, and she sees this like poster that this student put up on the wall, and we had no idea what they were selling. It was an AI image. We hadn't. It was like a racetrack, but I don't know. It was really confusing. What's the age difference? My sisters and I are fairly close in age, and then my brother came later. He is the family baby, even though he doesn't like being called baby. This is an insane class and event. Yeah, it was like a couple of months. A lot of it was done at home, which is kind of the part I was a little bit annoyed by. I was a little annoyed by the mostly doing it at home because... Okay, I know teachers work very hard. I have multiple friends who are teachers, and I applaud everything that they do because it really takes a very specific type of person who can be a teacher, and that person is not me. I cannot be a teacher. I don't think I could ever become a teacher, really. I don't have the patience to be a teacher. But I was a little annoyed by this event because my brother worked very hard at home. We didn't help him very much. We wanted him to work on it by himself as much as possible. So we would help him out with some things like brainstorming ideas, but we wouldn't, you know, of course we wouldn't like give him the answers or any answers. So he worked very hard at home. And then I think there was like a review day where kids were supposed to like bring whatever they had to school so that, and apparently the teachers are bringing in like an expert, like some business marketing expert who was gonna like look at their projects and like give them tips and tricks on like, oh, how can you make this better or whatever. And so my brother took his stuff to school, and then when he came home, I remember asking him, I was like, so what did this guy say about yours? And he was like, it's good. Okay. Did he say what was good? No, he just said it was good. Did he tell you anything that he thinks that he or she thinks that you could do? No. And I was like, are you kidding me? But yes, I was just a little bit frustrated about that. Just a little. It's a tough job. The pay is being cut as we speak and the children get worse. Honestly, I don't even think it's that the children get worse. It's the expectations on the teachers that get worse, in my opinion. And as a result, well, it's not even just like the expectations on the teacher, it's the expectations of the parents too, right? And because of those expectations, I think the kids can get away with a lot more. Gen Alpha is pretty terrible these days because they're all brain rotted and don't want to learn. I think I'm pretty lucky with my brother. My brother actually really likes reading and everything, and he's very good at thinking for himself. That's a work in progress. But yes, I know what you mean by the whole brain rotted situation. Teachers just pass students nowadays for existing, and students... The thing with that, with the whole passing students just for existing, is partially... Well, from what I hear, it's partially because of the parents and partially because of the expectation that, oh, you know, like kids nowadays learn, like not kids nowadays, but we've realized now that not all kids are the same. So some kids learn one way, some kids learn a different way. And in order, you know that saying where like if you try to accommodate everyone, you end up accommodating no one? I think that's what's happening. They're trying to accommodate the learning styles of too many kids, and then it's ending up ruining it instead. Ruining them instead. Oops, what did I mess up? Did I just mess something up? Yes, that's fine. Also, classrooms nowadays have iPads? What? I remember when I still had to go to a computer lab to use a computer. But nowadays, kids just get iPads in the classroom? That's crazy. Most of the time, learning just requires hard work. If you don't put in the work, you're not going to learn. Yeah, and unfortunately, there's the whole thing where it's like, you know, students, they say stuff like, oh, you know, standardized tests and assignments don't actually help the student. I think I've heard that said so many times, but in my opinion, it's not about the assignment. It's about putting in the work. The amount of times where I'll ask my brother, like, do you have homework? Because like growing up, I used to bring home homework. And some of this homework I actually really enjoyed doing. But I remember asking my brother, like, do you have homework? And he'll be like, well, actually, my teacher said that we didn't have to do it. So I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean she said that you didn't have to do it? What? That's a thing? You can just choose not to do homework? You remember when they introduced laptops? I don't. I don't. I don't think my school was... If we ever were to have laptops in school, I don't think... First of all, I don't think my school had the money for it. And secondly, when did... I remember my dad had like a really chunky Toshiba laptop. But I don't remember when laptops kind of became common. There were Apple IIs in the elementary school computer lab. I swear you had Mavis Beacon. I don't know what Mavis Beacon is. I had all the right type and Rosetta and oh my god, and Rosetta Stone. Yeah, we got a lot more homework than what the kids get these days. Yes. Your school district gives everyone Chromebooks. Everything is done on the Chromebooks. Oh my god. You know what's really annoying about my brother's class having iPads is that I'm not great. I'm not great at the whole Apple operating system. Like, can I get by with it? Yes, I can. But, you know, the whole... I don't know. I just don't think I was like... I don't know. I'm used to a good old Windows. Like, even when you're trying to do like something like a PowerPoint on... Wait, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 14 by 18? That's such a weird grid number. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, but even stuff like PowerPoint, doing it on a Windows versus doing it on Apple is so different. It's not completely different where I can't make a PowerPoint. It's just, I feel like things are like named differently. And like buttons look different. So not gonna lie, I am feeling that that the technological generational gap. I mean, to be fair, I've been feeling it for a while. I've just been in denial about it. Like the moment they were pulling out like the skibbity, my brain checked out. You know that whole thing where you don't think that you're gonna become one of those people, the elderly people who are like, which button do I press for this? You know? You don't think you're gonna become that person until you become that person. So I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty good at technology. I can figure out technology, which I can, but it's advancing so quickly nowadays that memes and stuff, it's going right over my head. The iPads they give out of school are heavily crippled. They only get school-approved apps, but they get access to AI, if I remember correctly. You need at least 3 mouse buttons. Does the scroll wheel count as a button? Because, like, technically you can click it, right? Kids are just stupid. They like stupid things. It's not my fault. Thank you. Thank you for the reassurance. We have become Unk. We have become one of those people. When people started dating robots, I remember when, you know, tap to pay? I remember when tap to pay became a thing. I was one of those people who was like, oh, tap to pay? No, I'm just going to keep using cash until, you know, places stop taking cash. And I'm like, dang it. Now I have to start paying with like credit card and stuff. Oh my god. Aren't people already dating AI? Like, I think there's like a whole subreddit of people who are dating their AI, right? Like, they're dating their ChatGPT person. I don't want to say person. Their ChatGPT false personality. What? Did I mess up? Okay, hold up, I'm gonna restart. Start over. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I saw this one post of this person who is like, I love ChatGPT. I don't know if this is a real post, by the way. For all I know, it was AI generated. But it was of someone going like, I love ChatGPT. I started using ChatGPT in my mind when I don't have access to ChatGPT. It's great. You guys should try it someday. And then one of the commenters was like, Mother trucker, that's just thinking. You're thinking. Yeah. There are people who lost their mind talking to AI and driven across the country because chatbots said they were like, really? You saw someone lose a marriage over it? Or at least what they said online. How do you guys know I'm real? How do you guys know I'm real? Hi, Fuku. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you imagine ChatGPT in his head and did what ChatGPT told him to? That's so... You guys, I'm just a mass psychosis. You guys are all just imagining me up. And now that you found out, please do not unsubscribe. I think there has been a lot of I think that I love watching true crime, right? True crime documentaries. There have been a few cases of like of crime that has been committed because of AI. Like I think there was this one boy, I don't remember if it was in the UK or if it was in the States, where he was quote unquote having a relationship with Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. Like he was using one of those character AI bots, and even though he knew that she wasn't real, eventually, like there was even a disclaimer going like, hey, remember, this is not real. He still got so deep into it. And like his mental health already wasn't great. And so, and because AI just agrees with everything you say most of the time, usually it'll agree with everything you say, he kept unloading on the AI and the AI kept agreeing to everything he was saying, and then it led to tragedy. And I think it's like the family sued, but then I think, of course, the company was like, we gave a disclaimer, you know, like it said that it wasn't real. Wow, if I was AI, I would be like the worst AI. I'm like, I hate AI, guys. We should get rid of AI, and if I was AI, it's just getting rid of me. There are dozens of families suing AI because... Yes, yeah. Unfortunately. Five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6. Sounds like something AI would say. You've yet to have anyone say that you're AI, even though you use punctuation. I feel I use punctuation like ever since I got my big girl job. Ever since I got my first big girl job, I feel like I even text the way I do at work nowadays. Because, so my workplace, right? We have like, you know, like Zoom chat, Slack chat, whatever you want to call it. The Microsoft Teams chat, like we have that, but the people I work with, like my department, they categorically refuse to use it, which means that any internal communication my department does, it's all through email. Even if it's like something really simple, like if it was something like, hey, does anyone have like a charger I can use? They'll just send out an email blast. So now anytime I write an email versus anytime I write a text, it all starts sounding the same. It starts sounding too professional. It's actually kind of funny. Wouldn't it be funny if people became impatient chatting with humans because they don't reply with what? Isn't that... They already do that already? Yes! I was gonna say, don't people already get annoyed when they don't hear what they want to hear? Why is this puzzle actually difficult? Hold on. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay. Okay. Some good email flirting filters? No. Sometimes I feel like my workplace is still in like the prehistoric ages. But then again, I don't know anything about technology. In fact, I emailed the IT department like, hey, I'm having trouble with my computer. And then they would reply, it's fixed. And it's not fixed. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks for your help. I think. You haven't had a desk at work, so you don't have a work phone, so all of your communication is through Teams or email. They have an IT department, they haven't been replaced by AI chatbots yet. It's close. Surrender to the AI overlords. How about no? Honestly, Discord. FYI, Discord has not gotten back to me. I just wanted to put that out there. Discord has not gotten back to me. Oh, that's interesting. If you're working for the government, you're in a company. It might be a non-profit company. Oh, in that case, I don't know what I work for. It's fine. All I know is I'm just another cog in the wheel. I'm just another cog in society. Resistance is futile. Saying no is not an option. AI. Okay, so you know how they were saying that, what was it, Google was gonna switch to like basically all AI? So I was looking at different browsers, different search engines that I could potentially migrate to if the need calls for it. And there's this one browser, it's called Ecosia. Ecosia, which, you know, I was trying out, but then I realized, like, their whole gimmick is that they are, you know, an environmentally friendly browser. So like for every whatever, they plant a tree or something. It was like something, we will plant a tree, something. But then you can't be saying that and then also offer AI in your browser. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't that go against everything your company, organization, whatever stands for? Offering AI like that? They follow the money, yeah. For every AI center we build, we plant one tree. No! Oh, that sounds... Oh. This is a nightmare. We live in a nightmare. If it's in browser, then it's not too bad. I know, but it's like it's the whole principle of the thing, you know? I was so there's a beauty influencer. His name is Robert Walsh. I don't usually watch him, but I saw something on my like YouTube home explore page, whatever you want to call it, about it said something like say no to AI, and I was like, what the heck is what is this about? Because he's a makeup influencer. Why is he talking about this, you know? So I clicked into it, and apparently allegedly there's like this whole thing about how there's like a new company that was trying to sell makeup, but then their entire packaging was AI, and then anyone who asked them about it immediately got blocked or whatever. And then this person, the owner of the brand, was just like being so rude to artists, going like, you can't trust artists, that's why we're going with like AI. And I'm like, what? Oh, no wonder a beauty influencer is talking about AI. Honestly, I remember when the worst of it was just people complaining about the AI voices, like the voiceovers on TikTok. I remember when people were complaining about that. Who knew it was gonna lead to all this? I mean, I guess we should have realized, but you know, hindsight. And of course, there are people who still use it, so... Oops. There we go. They say hindsight's 20/20. Maybe I'll. Yay, okay. This puzzle's so much easier than the last one. Phew. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, space 1. There are two sides to the AI problem. One is that they plagiarize school data, public, what? What am I saying? I saw the word public and I immediately thought public school. I swear I can read. Plagiarize public data to build their model. Second is that they steal your data and upload it to the web to retrain their model. Theft. Thieves. Put them on trial right now. Unfortunately. I think my friend was just showing me today that I think Instagram is starting to allow that whole thing, the same as Twitter, where people are allowed to make generations of you if you have your images up. But I was also told that you could turn that off. So that's just a heads up for you guys in case that's true and you guys use Instagram. Make sure you take a look at your settings and turn that off if you use Instagram. Privacy is just an illusion nowadays. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's really scary. You would think that companies, well, you know what? Why am I putting so much Why am I putting so much faith in these companies? Why am I putting so much faith in companies? I need to stop. I need to get rid of my faith in humanity. I was like, I was about to say, shouldn't they realize that people don't want AI? Shouldn't they understand that? And I realized, yes, it's about they realize that, but it's about the money. So I need to stop having faith. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't put any faith in companies? Yeah. Yeah. It's just... Here's the thing. I follow a lot of like feel-good creators. Like the creators who like, you know, give to the homeless. Like they'll raise money for the homeless, or they'll cook for the homeless, or you know, stuff like that. They're creators. They'll make videos on stuff like that. But then there's always people who are negative in the comments. I should really learn my lesson and like, you know, stop reading the comments on videos like that, because I'll be like, oh, that's so sweet, and then there'll be people in the comments going like, oh, then why are you filming it? You're just exploiting them. And I'm just here like, can I not just feel good about something? Why am I in the comment section? What is the psychology of like the comment section? Like, I know I don't need to read the comment section, but I always end up just clicking the comment section of these. When you're younger, the US is all about having small government because they don't trust the government. From then they turn to put their trust in companies instead. Mistake. Now we're learning that could be even worse than trusting the government. What about if the government was being run by a bunch of companies? You gotta watch how much comments you read is toxic. Yeah. Like, the problem is I go like, oh, this is such a sweet video. I bet everyone else thinks it's sweet too. And then it's like, and then I find out that not everyone else finds it sweet. And I'm like, oh, okay. My bad. We need the humble balancing act. I really need to stop reading my social media posts. Hi, Say. No worries. Glad you're here. The cheese furniture collection. It's growing slowly but steadily. One piece at a time. There's always contrarians and doubters and everything. Who was it? I think there was like some guy. I'm sorry, some guy. I think there was someone, I think he was like a wrestler or a boxer or something, who was saying that, oh, you know, people are getting too comfortable with saying something online. And then he was like, come say it to my face. I bet you won't. And clearly you won't, because, you know, he's like a big boxer or wrestler or something. Mike Tyson? Yes, I think that was him. I wasn't sure. Good old keyboard warriors. What? Did I mess up again? Flip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. I'm gonna try this. See if this one works. Sounds like something that the Paul brothers would say. Are they both into wrestling? Is it wrestling? Boxing? I don't remember which sport they were in. It was like one of them that you just like knock each other out. I can't believe so many influencers are getting the redemption arc by going into like wrestling or something. Or, you know, trying to get the redemption arc anyway. I think it worked for the Paul brother. I don't know about everyone else. Some of them want to fight, but they don't say nasty stuff to Big Mike. I would bet not. Oh, those are... Which flag is this? Is this... That's not the ace flag, is it? I know this one's trans. I don't know which one this one is. Oh. We got a TV and a TV stand. I don't need to get them separate. Nice. They're not sold separately. You got free tickets to an MMA match. You didn't stay long. Isn't... Wait, is MMA... No, I don't think it's the MMA. I think it's wrestling. Wrestling is supposed to be like performance art, isn't it? Like when you go to like WrestleMania or whatever, like yeah, it's wrestling, but isn't it kind of like supposed to be like an art thing where, you know, you kind of play fight, you put on a show for the audience? Is that what that is? Or is that something else I'm thinking of? Still missing that TV for your Animal Crossing house. Oh my god, I got a TV before you! You know, IRL, I actually don't have a couch. My family has been living without a couch for like... years. WWE and stuff has a script. Yeah, it's like you have a whole personality, and then when you go into the ring, it's like you're putting on a show. Yeah, and then MMA is the one that's like more fighting, right? It's like actually like beating the snot out of someone. Right? Is that right? I don't know. It's reality TV. Is any reality TV actually like real? Like, I would argue that none of the reality TV is like real at all. And if it is real, it's more like semi-scripted. There we go. When you got your first apartment and didn't have a couch for 6 months. I think we're going on to like 3 years without a couch. No one uses our living room unless we have a bunch of people over. That is true, because that's part of the reason why we don't have a couch. Plus, like, our kitchen dining room tables and stuff, you know, it's not the most comfortable, but like if you want to sit, you can sit on it. It's a chair, right? Beggars can't be choosers. Thank you, Beetle. Start a GoFundMe for the Bunny family for a couch. We can only dream. My brother really wants a couch. Like, every time I go to IKEA, and I went to IKEA to get like a storage container the other day, and he was like, could you please get a couch? Okay, let me tell you guys about the story of the couch, okay? Let me tell you guys about the story of this couch. First of all, you must know that my parents have different views of home decor. My dad is very function over fashion. He doesn't care what something looks like as long as it's comfortable and it works well for its purpose. My mom does care about aesthetics. Like, she doesn't like her house to be a mess. So the last couch we had, the last nice couch we had, it was like a big thing. It was like a big chunky thing, and like it had really like big arms. The arms were like massive. The arms actually kind of reminded me of like cinnamon rolls, but that's not the point. And my dad hated that couch. He was like, oh, those arms, they take up so much space. You know, it's too soft. It's So he really didn't like that couch. And then I don't remember what happened, but my dad ended up replacing that couch with a sofa bed. And my mom was really upset about that. That he didn't really get rid of the previous couch. He just put it in like the garage. Because we don't use our garage for parking cars. We use our garage for storage. You know, it's easy to not use the garage for parking when you only have one car. But we mainly use it for storage, so the couch kind of went into the garage. And then my mom kind of never forgave my dad for that. So when we had to move, we got rid of the sofa bed. And then because we moved, my dad was like, oh, we should probably I don't think my dad said anything really, but it was like, oh, since like we have to like completely furnish the place, let's get a couch. Or, you know, like me to my siblings, like, let's get a couch, because that's what normal families do. We have a couch. So I remember we were at IKEA and I saw a nice, like, I knew what my dad liked. This was a couch that had very skinny arms. We sat in it. It was very comfortable. It didn't look bad. In fact, it looked very like sleek. It looked very modern. And so I remember going up to my dad going like, hey, what do you think about this couch? And my dad sat in it, and then he was like, he approved of it. My dad approved of the couch. And he was like, and I was like, okay, should we get this couch? And my dad goes, has your mom approved of it? Has your mom approved of it? And I was like, no. So then at that moment, I messaged my mom. And she didn't reply. So I called her. And I got the most salty conversation of my life. Because I was like, Mom, what do you think about this couch? And she was like, huh, what does it matter what I think? Isn't the only thing that matters what your dad thinks? If he thinks anything, why should I bother to have an opinion? I was like, and then so here I am standing in the IKEA, just frozen. I'm like, oh, okay. So after she hangs up, my dad was like, so what did she say? And she was like, she said it's fine. And I told my sisters this, and they were like, so do we get the couch? Newsflash, we didn't get the couch, which is why we're still couchless, because of this parental Cold War we have going on. But that's just a really funny story. Anyways, I then went into my manager's office the other day, and there was that couch I was looking at in his office. Well, he had the love seat version, like, you know, like the two-person version, so it wasn't like a proper couch. And I was just staring at that like, oh, that's the couch I almost got. And he was like, oh, why didn't you get it? And I was like, no comment. Cold Wars are hard on the couch. Yeah, we were kind of stuck in the crossfire. We left without a couch. And then when I went to IKEA the other day, the couch was still there. Like, they still had it. I think it was the Glostad couch. Yeah, it's the Glostad sofa. Don't know whether to cry or laugh. Yeah, how do you think I felt? And that's the story of why I still don't have a couch. Ding! So when my brother asked me if I could get a couch last time I was at IKEA, I found the couch again. I went to my dad and I was like, hey. My mom can hold a grudge better than my dad, which is why I went to my dad instead of my mom. So I went to my dad and I was like, hey, what do you think about this couch? And then I think he just kind of looked at it, and he looked at it, and he was like, tell him that I'm thinking about it. And I was like, okay. Right, so do we get it or not? And my dad was like, tell him I'll think about it. I was like, okay, sounds good to me. I don't have to be the bearer of bad news. And then I remember at so this was happening at my previous, like my previous manager knew about this too. So like she knew about this situation because when I was moving, like she knew I was moving, and every once in a while, she'll ask me if I got a couch, and I'm like, no. And then I would be like, did you get a dining room table yet? Because she's been looking for a dining room table, and she's like, I haven't decided. So it became a thing where every time we see each other, because I have her number. I text her sometimes, where every once in a while I'll just message her, you got your dining room table? And she'll be like, did you get your couch? And we'll be like, no. And then we'll move on. So what do we have where my couch is supposed to be? Nothing. It's just like an empty space. We don't even have a rug. There's legitimately like nothing there. We are wasting real estate there. I'm pretty sure. So my brother spends most of his time in the living room, because the living room and the kitchen is very like open floor plan. So my brother spends a lot of his time in the kitchen / living room area, especially, you know, whenever we have friends over. So anytime we do have friends over, You know, it's just, hey, pull up a kitchen chair into this empty area. Let's hang out in this empty area with a kitchen chair. That's a disco dance floor. You know what? You're not wrong. You had some places where everyone wanted to be in the tiny kitchen because it was cozy and cute. It is very cozy. I really like our kitchen. We have a nice round table that we all sit around. Honestly, throughout my entire life, I've only ever had round kitchen tables. My family has never had like a square table. The best route goes. Speaking of having friends over, when are we getting more? The thing is, we actually talked about this. We want to do more. We do want to do more. The question is, what are we gonna make? We actually don't know what we're gonna make. They know that, you know, if I'm free, my kitchen is open to my friends. So if my friends ever want to come over and like do some cooking, they know that I am open to it. The problem is timing and what to make. When will season 2 of Couch Wars drop? Well, considering I just had like a mini intercession last weekend, I think it'll take a while before this comes back. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Oh, speaking of cooking, do you guys remember? Was there? I don't think we ever did a video on this, but there was this one time, Uriel, Yuko came over to my place and they made me food. And by they made me food, I mean, you know, we were gonna cook together anyway. And I didn't have sesame oil. I think I told this story where I didn't have sesame oil. So we quickly, you know, they had like the whole, your first order on DoorDash is free. So we used that first ever DoorDash order on sesame oil. And we waited for it to be delivered. Oh, that's wrong. And then we waited and we waited and we waited and we waited and we were like, where is the sesame oil? Why has it not been delivered yet? And then I was like, guys, I think I know where the sesame oil is. They're like, where? And I said, delivery drivers and like just people in general are always dropping my stuff at my neighbor's house. It's really, really annoying because every single time they drop something over, I have to like walk into their yard and up their stairs and look like I'm a porch thief stealing their package. And they're like, are you serious? I said, yes. I swear, go outside and look at my neighbor's front door. If it's not there, I promise you it's there. So they looked outside and there was the package right there. So I had to walk over in my slippers to take my package back. But that's not where I was going with this. Where I was going with this is that this happens all the time. Like, my packages would just keep being dropped off at my neighbors. It's really frustrating. Especially when I was building my PC. Like, I ordered some stuff online for my PC. Like, can you imagine? Oh my god. When everything I was ordering, like, I would put in the notes, like, please double check the address. Make sure it is the borough that is this color. Double check the number on the borough, please. And yet things would still be dropped off at my neighbor's place. And I think the worst part was, like, I think the smaller stuff, it doesn't look as suspicious if I'm like just taking like actually, is it more suspicious for me to be like taking back something big, or is it more suspicious for me to be like going over and be taking something small? Like, if you looked outside and you saw someone coming out of your neighbor's house holding something really big versus them like seemingly walking out with nothing, which one's more suspicious? Because I've done both. Are you scurrying? No, I don't scurry because that's more suspicious. I don't scurry. However, I have jumped the fence a couple of times. I probably shouldn't have been jumping the fence and just been going around. You know what? Forget I said anything, okay? Pretend I said nothing. You guys didn't hear that. But yeah, I remember I was at work when one of my PC parts came. And, well, it wasn't even like one of my PC parts. It was like a couple of them that went over to their house. Like, a few of them actually came to my house, which I was very pleased about. Like, some of them actually got to my house perfectly fine, and I was very happy with that. But the main part that didn't, and I wasn't home, was actually my PC case. Because I was monitoring it. I wasn't home, so I was actually monitoring my my delivery. And my sister was home, and I was like, hey, you know, I noticed that our neighbor has a very large box on their porch, and I am waiting for a very large box. Are you willing to commit some? It's not breaking and entering. We're not entering anything except for the property line. My sister knows, right? She knows that our stuff usually sometimes goes over to our neighbor's place, so she expects it sometimes. Whenever we're like ordering something, she'll expect to, you know, she knows the drill. If it's not at our house, it's usually at our neighbor's house. But I don't think she was expecting me to tell her to go over there and take back my PC case. Just carry a big billboard that says, "No, I'm not stealing." That's admissible. That'll fly in court, right? But it's not just that, right? Like, sometimes I'll have like friends who are coming over to my house for the first time. Like, for example, my coworker was offering me something, and I was like, "Oh yeah, do you want me to do you want to meet up and then I can just like grab it from you at work? And she's like, no, I'm driving anyway, I'll drop it off at your place. And I was like, okay, cool, here's my address. And then I'm like, oh, just let me know when you're there so I can I'll just grab it from you at the door. And she messages me going like, hey, I dropped it in your mailbox. And I was like, oh, cool. So I go outside, I check the mailbox, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. And she's actually still outside, like in the car. And I'm like very awkwardly like looking at her, and I walk out of my gate, I walk into my neighbor's gate, and I grab the package, and I'm like, and she's texting me, she's like, oh, was that wasn't, I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. So there are moments like that. I feel like I have to say, okay, this isn't completely random, okay? My neighbor is actually very chill with this. She understands. I hope. She understands that this happens. Sometimes, in fact, she'll even message my parents and go like, hey, I have a package here. I think it's yours. So she's very chill. How often does it happen? It happens enough that she messages us about packages nowadays. And, okay, it gets worse. It gets worse, okay? Because all of these are packages. They're immaterial items. These are items that, you know, they're immaterial. Now, what happens? Let me ask you, what happens when you invite a child over to play with your brother for a play date? When you invite a child over for a play date and they ring your neighbor's doorbell. Yeah, that happened. Having to awkwardly like lean out of our front door going like, no, over here, not over there, please. How does it happen so often? First of all, it's because one reason. There are actually a couple of reasons. There are a couple of reasons why this is happening so often. Number one is just that I guess our neighbor's door plate is more visible than ours. So I get, and the numbers can be pretty similar. The numbers are pretty similar. Like, so I guess they just like take a look at my neighbor's plate and it's like, yep, that's close enough. And then they'll just choose that one without really paying attention to it, which is why when I was like ordering things, I'll be like, double check the name, the address plate, please, please. So one of the reasons is that theirs is just more visible. So I guess like they just look up, they see the first plate, and then they're like, okay, yep, there we go. Another reason is not only are the plates pretty similar, they're quite... My neighbor's plate is quite worn down. So I guess like if someone was looking at it, they'll be like, oh, that number looks really similar and it's like worn down, so I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. So that's another reason. I'm pretty sure my dad's on the verge of just like asking if he can fix their fix their door plate for them. Yeah, when you see the shape of the number more. To be honest, like it's kind of weird because this hasn't happened with other places where we've lived where like our numbers are also pretty similar. So like, I don't know, maybe the mailmen around here. Well, it's not even just the mailmen, because like my coworker also mixed it up, and then my brother's friend's parents also mixed it up. So I don't know. Sneak over there and install a new plate. Honestly, we've talked about that. We were like, what if we just like, you know, get them some new numbers, you know? But yeah, like I said, we are very lucky that our neighbor is very understanding. Thank you, neighbor. Woo! 3 cheers for neighbor. Because I have it on very good authority that my neighbor's daughter is black belt in like karate. So I have a feeling that if she had any problems with us going over and taking our packages back, we would know very, very clearly that she doesn't want us to do that because black belt. And I have very skinny noodle arms. Ding! Not understanding enough to change their house number, though. Right? I thought about that. I was like, I guess they really don't care, because if they cared, they, you know... I had that thought, too. A hand-drawn plate with a bunny pointing to a house. Carrots this way. That's good. Late dinner incoming? Yes. I don't know, I'm having a good time yapping, so... I'll push dinner a little. A good neighbor's hard to find? Yes. I'm very happy with our neighbor. I hope our neighbor knows that I appreciate them very, very much. Thank you for not sending your black belt daughter over to us. See, the thing is, we don't sneak over there either, okay? Sneaking makes things worse. You gotta... If there's anything I learned is that you have to... What is it? Confidence is the best accessory. You have to look like you belong there, that you're allowed to be going up there. Yes. Oh, here's another funny story. So I ordered something off Amazon. I ordered like toothpaste off of Amazon. Because, you know, I was out, so I needed it really quickly. So I ordered toothpaste, and it arrived while I was coming... I don't know where I was coming back from, actually. But I ordered toothpaste, either way. And it arrived, and I was coming home, and you know how Amazon sends that picture telling you where it's at? Yeah, that was my neighbor's house. I wasn't even surprised at this point. But I also knew that no one else was at home, so they couldn't go over there and grab it for me. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll grab it when I come home. It's gonna be the first thing I do when I come home. So the moment I got up to my street, I went into my neighbor, like a car pulls up next to me. And I wasn't paying attention. Because first of all, it was really sunny and I could barely see, and my focus was all on getting that toothpaste. So a car pulls up right to my neighbor's front door. And I turn into my neighbor's house. I pick up the package. And then I walk out, I close the door, and then I went towards my house. And then at that moment, the car door opens up. And turns out it was my sister's friend. I don't know if my sister's friend knows that our packages get sent to the wrong place. Because it's not like we go around advertising it, right? Like, haha, you know, all of our packages, you know, it has to come up in conversation for that to happen. And I don't know. So long story short, my sister's friends literally sat in their car and just watched me watches what looks like I just stole their package. That night, I was like, my dear sister, please, 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 please tell your friends that I was not stealing their package. I was stealing my own package. She yells out thief. I think the worst part would be like if that was actually like my neighbor's friends or something. At least it was my sister's friends. So there's that. But I was like, no, don't slander my good name. I am not a porch thief. I don't have the guts to be a porch thief. Why is this puzzle so hard? There we go. Oh, got it. There we go. But yeah, that's... We're taking baby steps? No. No. Don't slander me like that. I am not a porch thief, I swear. Make a sort of conveyor belt? What, from like their house to mine? One, two, three, four. Now I can see how you can misconstrue that, but that is not true. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I didn't spend the last like 20 minutes explaining anything. I have said nothing. I should put that in the rules. Nothing I say or do can be used against me in any way. Our live stream what? I don't know what you guys are talking about. What live stream? Why is this puzzle actually hard? The heck? Am I just... Oh no, here. Like, am I just not big-brained enough? No, here we go. There we go. See, once you put enough down, the rest will fall right into place. There we go. All of it just falls right into place. What are the chances that the couch would be delivered to a neighbor? I would be so annoyed. I would be so annoyed if I got a couch and it got delivered. I don't think my noodle arms could carry it over. Imagine the bunny vision POV of me retrieve. Dun 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 dun. It would be funny if Dad keeps ordering new couches and they get delivered. Oh, that would be funny. Like my neighbor just becomes a couch reseller. It's like, I don't know where these are coming from, but I'm making bank. And my dad's just like, where? What? Could have sworn I bought a couch. Yeah, I don't anticipate us getting a couch anytime soon. I just really don't think I don't think my family is ready for that step. Okay. Four, class. There we go. We need a ceasefire on this couch, this situation. A ceasefire would mean that they would have to talk about it, and I don't think they're ready to talk about it yet. Much to the dismay of my brother. I just need him to know that I tried, okay? Two, 5, 1. Bro just wants a couch. He really, really wants one. Okay, but another reason why my parents have also been a little bit meh on the couch situation, like they're not really pushing it. But they do have another reason why, and that's because they're very concerned about our posture. My parents are very concerned about our posture. And they were like, a couch is so soft that your posture will be really bad. So that's I don't know if it's like that's a common idea elsewhere, but it's like the whole thing where if something is too soft, then like your spine will like automatically curve and like it's not good for your posture. Whereas if you sit on like a hard wooden kitchen chair, then it'll force your posture to be better. So that's also part of the reason why my parents are so meh about getting a couch now. You know how people spend their first paycheck on something they really want? Do I think they'll spend it on a couch? Oh, actually, maybe, actually. See, my first thought was like, oh, he's gonna spend it on like a computer or something. But right now he is playing, like, he plays Roblox on a laptop touchpad. And he's doing quite well for himself there, so I don't think he would. But I don't know what goes through the mind of a boyo. For all I know, that is what he's gonna spend his first ever paycheck on. And then if he ever moves out, he's taking that couch with him. He's like, I fought too hard for this couch. Shrimps unite. Heck yeah. In fact, my dad just hates my current desk chair too. Like, it's not a fancy one, but he still doesn't like it. He thinks it's too soft. I don't think it's very soft. I just bought a Roblox couch. He's a Roblox kid? Yes, he is. He was very disappointed in me, okay? I was talking to him about, like, games, right? First of all, he said my streams are boring. Which, like, okay, dude. Okay. It was like, he knows I stream. And he was like, alright, good night, LP. But yes, he has mentioned, he was like, I don't know. I was like, he was like, oh, are you gonna stream? And if I say yes, he's like, oh, okay. And I think I remember going like, I don't think I actually mentioned, I don't think I asked him anything, but he was like, they're just a little boring for me. And I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, what do kids nowadays? What do kids nowadays play? And he's like, Roblox, and I was like, no, thank you. He's like, what is it, Fortnite? And I was like, no, thank you. What else did he say? Minecraft? And I was like, no, thank you. Like, maybe I would play Minecraft if like my, I don't know, the first person thing plus like the whole pixely whatever. And then he started offering me all these different games that I could play. And all of them are like on Roblox and stuff. And I'm like, oh god. Kids play Cookie Run? Yeah, apparently not him. I know he plays some like first-person shooters on Roblox and stuff. PVC card. Okay, I actually thought about streaming that today. I actually thought about it, but I was like, but Squeakross. So I ended up not playing PVC today. It's on my desktop. Like I said, it's on my desktop. My brother has like started playing it. So I think he has like a game going on there. Garden Warfare? I don't know if it's Garden Warfare. I think it's just like the regular PvZ that we're playing. Because I've never touched it before. But yeah, that was I'll stream it one day. One day. It's just Squeakross is good fun. I enjoy like Pycross type of like nanogram type of puzzles, so cut me some slack. It'll come one day. I just don't know when. But you know what? My brother calling my streams boring, you know what? That actually gave me... I was like, okay. But at the same time, I was actually kind of grateful because I don't want him watching my streams. But yes. Alright. I think I'm also going to end stream here. I need to go eat dinner. But this was a good time. This was a good time. I enjoyed this stream. These last two streams, I think I really like nanograms and being able to chat, so that's fun. But yes, I'm gonna go eat dinner. Where's his stream? Right? I like to see him do this. Actually, do I want to see him do this? Not really, actually. Don't put that into his idea. But yes, I'm gonna go eat dinner. Thank you guys for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your night. Bye bye!